Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to take a look at the 2023 Model 3 versus the 2024 Model 3 as well. As you can see, just looking right away, there's key differences. This one is brought to you by Justin at EV Access. And then this one, the 24, is brought to you by Andrew, who's behind the camera. He just picked this up the other day. Super cool. I mean, this is honestly my first look at these. The first thing that you're going to see just completely off the bat is the headlights. They're quite a bit smaller as far as width, but length, they're probably just a little bit longer. As you can see, these are bulkier. The ones on the 24, the headlights are really sleek. They're pretty thin. They look maybe a little more sporty, in my opinion. Another thing that you're gonna notice just coming down from the headlights is on the 23, you kind of have this cluster of like an air intake, a little indent here, and then kind of like a light. But on the 24, you don't get that. They don't have that there. So it's more of a simple look, in my opinion. Other than that, the front is pretty much kept the same. The colors, they're pretty similar. The 24 is just a little darker, like a touch. I mean, it's not too big of a difference as you can see, but it looks just like a hair darker in the color scheme of the base gray that they have. Next thing that you're gonna see when you come to the wheels is the 24s have a brand new wheel. So when you look at the 24s, they have a brand new wheel that they just came out with. They're called the Photon wheels. I mean, back to the same idea of it looks sportier, and I think that everything that they change is kind of in hopes of maybe a more sportier look, which they obviously pulled off. I think they look good, a little more complicated than the 23s. Good color. Yeah, I mean, I really like them. On the body going back, there's not any differences really, but when you get to the back on the taillight specifically, you can see there's quite a bit of a difference. I mean, looking at the old one, you have, I mean, you're taking it from bulky, like a bigger idea, to something thinner and more maybe sophisticated. That's the right word. All right, so looking at the 23, I mean, standard, no cubby on the right side, cubby on the left side. But on the 24, so coming back over here, there is a cubby on the right side and a cubby on the left side. So just a little more storage. And then back to these lights, which are in kind of like a half circle-ish. I don't even know what to call this shape. I don't think there's a name for the shape, but a really nice, I don't know, it looks good, it looks sportier. Yeah, one piece look. So the rear diffuser, yeah, there's a little bit of a difference on the rear diffuser. So if you're looking at this one, I mean, it's pretty simple. It just has like a little lip on it. But when you come over to the 24, it's a little bit bigger of a diffuser. I mean, it really starts up here. This is kind of where the last one kind of ends, and then it comes down, and then there's a little bit larger of a lip. Not too big, like not, I mean, it's not major difference. They have these lights down here as well, pretty cool. Doors and everything are all the same. Nothing's changed as far as controls or anything. So there's a rear screen in the back. This is actually my first look at it. This is sick. So you have access to your airflow. Of course, you can like touch on the screen and determine where it goes. You have your heated seats, and it'll like light up which one you're heating and how hot you want it. That's super cool. That is sick. Your music, I wonder if this controls both or if it's separated. I'm honestly not sure. You have your entertainment, so you can literally sit here and watch Netflix. Probably for like the kids, or if you're on like a road trip. I mean, who wants to just sit back here and look on their phone when they can watch Netflix on this tiny little screen in their Tesla 24? That's cool. They have games, of course, because why wouldn't you, in the backseat of a Tesla? And then they have their settings, Bluetooth, so you can connect it to like a device and probably listen to like Netflix or play your little games back here. That's pretty sick. I honestly didn't know that this had it. 2048, this game, I think I actually got like one of the records on. I had a square on here, that was that. So 2048, I had 4048, I almost had like 8,000 point square. Nobody probably cares about that. All right, so taking a look at the driver's side on the Tesla, or I guess just the front in general. First thing that you're gonna notice is the steering wheel is a little bit different. As you can see, I mean, a little sportier of a look. I mean, that's really the only thing I can call it. There's no turn signals on the side like the other Teslas have. Also, the gear shifter is typically here on the 23 Model 3s, but it's not anymore. I think they've taken really the design from the Plaids, and you just move it here to shift gears. So that's pretty different. They used to have the wood vinyl along the front here, but they changed it to a nice cloth, which is cool. And then I think the last thing that they added is probably these, they have lights that kind of line the car, interior lights, that you can like change the color and stuff. Look really good. These have stayed the same. These magnetic little pieces for the visor, and then everything else is pretty much the same. Another difference is before on the 23s, they didn't have a cover for the cup holders, and you used to put the key here, like kind of right under the armrest area. You just set it there and it'd go. But now, I mean, again, back to the Plaid, and I'm just thinking about the S really. You put the key here, which is, I mean, they're really getting a couple of the ideas from that. So I was just told about this new beta feature where you can like push on the brake pedal and it'll put it into drive. So as you can see on the screen, it says tap to activate. So I'm gonna hold down the brake and you can see it just went in drive. I didn't touch the screen or anything. Now I'm gonna go forward. So you can see it shows, you know, if you wanna park in one of these spots or something, which is cool. We'll do that here in a minute. I'm gonna pull into here, right? I'm gonna put into park. And then I'm gonna let go and it says press to activate. So I'm gonna do the same thing again. And look at that, it just put in reverse. That's pretty sick. That's super cool. All right, so I'm gonna back up a little bit. And then this is something, if you don't know about this is pretty sick. You can auto park with Teslas. So as you can see, when you get, you know, somewhere, it'll show a P button and you can like pick one of the spots. Like it'll literally show you the spots that are available or whatever. And it, you know, there's a car here, so you can't park there. But let's click this one and then you press start. I'm gonna let off the brakes and look at the steering wheel. It's just going all on its own. So it's gonna map out. It's mapping out the way it wants to go. So it's pulling forward. Now it's pulling backwards. This is super cool. Let's see. Wow. That's pretty sick. All right, so let's go drive. Obviously it has that new pedal feature, but to drive you just pull up the little slider here to put in drive, just like you would in an S Plaid. And of course the new turning signals, again, this is thanks to the Plaid. Press those, it shows a little screen there to show what's on the side, so you're not gonna hit somebody if you're gonna turn lanes. Something I really like about Teslas is I really like that it shows, I mean, pretty much everything around you. Show the buildings, they'll show the cars, and it's pretty dead accurate. I mean, it's pretty spot on. It even shows handicap signs. I did not know that. That's pretty slick. Show you, I mean, you can park in any one of these spots if you wanted to. That is pretty sweet. So we're gonna do a little driving test to see how it feels. I mean, all Teslas, in my opinion, are pretty smooth. So we'll see if I can tell any key differences in this. Is there any difference in like shocks or?
The suspension is softer, more comfortable.
Okay, so softer suspension.
The front and rear windows are double pane, so it's quieter.
Oh, so double pane windows on the front and back, so it's quieter. It's pretty cool. Yeah, the shocks, I mean, we just kind of hit smaller little bumps, and I didn't really feel much. Felt pretty smooth. Does this have? Let's see if it has the same modes. So standard, steering for sport, and then chill. So on the steering wheel here, if you press this button, it'll pop up your cameras so you can turn them on and then off. Obviously that's behind us. Oh shoot. This thing feels pretty quick. So this is a base, 0 to 60 is 5.8 seconds. That's pretty crazy. Electric cars are just making cars, the base of cars, faster and faster. Like, I remember back in high school, I had an Infiniti G37 2010, for those of you who drove those are sweet. And 0 to 60 was like 7 seconds. I was like, this is so fast. I can't even imagine something faster. And now they're making cars that are 4 or 5 seconds at like base level, and they're, you know, very affordable. And then they have cars like the Plaid that they're coming out in, it's sub 2, isn't it? Isn't it 1.9 seconds?
I think
for the
so,
S? Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. So that's pretty nuts. All right, so for those of you who haven't seen this, this is how you can move the air. They don't have like little air knobs where you can move the air around. It's this button or this screen that you control where the air flows. So if you want it right at you, if you want it at the person sitting next to you, if you want the person sitting next to you on you, like you can really move it anywhere you want, which is super, super cool. Also with the 24s, and I think standard on the 24s, but you have heated and cooled seats. On the other ones, you just had heated seats. So you'll click this button down here and it'll show you cool or heat. And then you can obviously choose what level you want it at, which is pretty cool for me. I get really hot, summer, winter, it doesn't matter. My body runs hot in temperature. So by having cooled seats, obviously that's pretty nice to have. Oh, one more thing, since they don't have the buttons and the gear shifters and stuff on the side here, you have the windshield wipers on the steering here. So you just click it and hold it and it'll wipe your windows. So pretty much they took all the controls on the side and either put it on the steering wheel or in this here. Also, for the first 30 days on the new Teslas, they have a self-driving mode. Okay, so go to EV access. I'm not even touching anything. Wow, it's speeding up by, wow. It's kind of freaky to kind of have your life in the hands of a robot. If any of you have seen the new Waymos, they're Jaguar SUVs, but they're highly advanced. And they're pretty much like an Uber thing where you can call it to you and it's all self-driving. It'll come to you, pick you up, and take you wherever you want to go within certain limits. But that's freaky. You pretty much just sit in the back seat and you watch the steering wheel turn all over the place and it drives where you want to go perfectly, which is wild.
1,000 feet, turn left onto South 4th.
Hey, I'm not turning left. You're going to do it for me. But we're almost to the point of like full self-driving. But it's kind of scary because I don't know. You just hope that, you know, it doesn't mess up, the system doesn't glitch out. I mean, at some point, I know that cars are gonna be safer. Wow, look at that. It even has a turning signal on. See if it knows to go around this car. Oh, is it gonna do it? Oh, it waited for it. I know at some point, and honestly, it's probably now, that cars that can fully self-drive are probably safer than humans to some extent. Like if somebody's tired or if they're not paying attention, like it's so easy for a human to get in an accident if they're not paying attention, but for a car it's just designed to, like, if it needs to stop, it's going to stop. It's not paying attention. I mean, there's very little room for error in a robot versus a human, which is pretty cool. Okay, slightly turn force of steering wheel. Oh, okay, I didn't like me touching that much. And you can see if you try to like turn it a little bit or resist. Wow, look at that. Takes the turn.
In 500 feet, your destination will be on the left.
This is so weird. Yeah, they're pretty comfy. I mean, I can feel a little bit of suspension difference in the 23 versus 24. It's not huge. Like I obviously haven't driven Teslas enough to really tell, but it's there. I can definitely feel a slight difference in the different suspensions. Overall, just like the Model 3s though, it's a nice solid drive. It feels good. Let's see if it knows to put it in reverse now. Nope, but we're gonna do the auto park, of course, because this thing probably can line up better than me. I mean, so what's there even to do left? The car can drive itself, it can park itself, so you don't even practically need to do anything except tell it to start either one of those tasks. Wow. And it automatically puts in park. That's pretty slick. I will say these 24 Teslas are sweet. Like, there's no question. I like the 24 more. It just has a better look in my opinion. I don't know if you've seen, but the 24 performances, the 0 to 60 is just under 3 seconds, which is absolutely bonkers for a car that you can get at a really fair price. Yeah, so if I were to choose two, I'd definitely choose the 24. 23s are still a really good car, just in general. I mean, maintenance-wise, you're looking at a set of tires every year or two, which is nice. Maybe 3. I mean, rental business, we go through a lot more tires than a regular person. But yeah, I really like the 24. I think it has a really good look. They've definitely updated it. It looks a lot sportier, in my opinion. So yeah, if I were to go out and buy one today, I'd probably pick the 2024 just because of the look and the feel of everything. Appreciate everybody watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.